This is Charlie subbing in for the TOPher because today I have the incredibly difficult task of showing you all what it's like to drive the 2021 Porsche 718 Spyder. This is the ultimate of the Boxster lineup. Technically it's not even called a Boxster, but the 718 lineup is the Boxster and the Cayman, and the Spyder does without a top. It's actually got a manual top hidden under here, which we will be keeping down. But if you do want to see some top-up footage, we'll have some videos on Winding Road. You can check out there. But this thing is the top dog 718, if you will. So it's kind of the topless version of the Cayman, the GT4, packing the 4-liter naturally aspirated flat 6 motor, making 414 horsepower. I think about 384 pound-feet of torque. I'll have to look at the sheet. But this is the ultimate powertrain. It's so good. This one has the 7-speed PDK automatic, and then a little bit later on we'll be driving the manual as well. And I can tell you, you really can't go wrong with either one. So this video, we're gonna have a little bit of a smoother, slower city driving, talk about the car a little, and then most importantly, we're gonna get out on some back roads. I'm just gonna let you listen to this thing because that is the best way that this car is enjoyed. Keep it a little bit quieter right now for the local residents. Porsche's PDK or dual clutch automatic transmissions are so good. I mean, look at this hill start. Very smooth. Even first to second right there, no jerkiness. You can drive this thing so easy day in and day out. And then when you do decide to flog it, it's just a quick slap, down, 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 and you're ready to go. We'll see a little bit of that more here soon. Or if you do like to just let the car do its own thing, you can press this PDK Sport, and that has a great shift pattern on its own, automatic shift pattern. The 911 Turbo S that we had recently, if there were any flaw in it, it's just that the automatic shift patterns are a little conservative. Even in Sport Plus, it's almost like you needed a race shift mode where it would hold gears all the way out. And it would do that if you pressed the Sport response button. That only lasted for about 20 seconds. This car does seem to have more of a racy, aggressive automatic shift pattern, even when left to its own devices. And that makes sense being the Spyder version of the car. Don't get me wrong, the 2-liter and the 2.5-liter turbocharged motors, they make a good amount of power, but the power doesn't come on as responsively as this 4-liter naturally aspirated powertrain. The turbocharged motors, you have to lean into it and then let boost build and it off you go, you're good to go. But when you're driving a sporty car, you kind of want that immediacy, and the GTS and the Spyder deliver that in droves. Out onto the Pacific Coast Highway. Beautiful day to be enjoying a car like this. 83 degrees Fahrenheit. Top is down and life is good. Again, just rolling out, automatic mode, letting the car upshift on its own. 5th gear, it's going to slowly make its way to 6th, and then 7th. Quiet exhaust. I do have the earmuffs on, but as I hope you can tell, this is a great car for just cruising along and enjoying. I got the windows up. Not much air coming into the cabin. We do have a little bit of a wind minimizer behind us. Here we are, 7th gear. Everything about the Spyder feels proper from a driving standpoint. You do have the Alcantara steering wheel, so that feels a bit premier, but it still offers great grip, which is what Alcantara really was originally designed for. But then over here you've got pull handles instead of real door handles. That's supposed to save weight. The Spyder's still a little bit quirkier in the 718 guys than it was back in the earlier Boxster Spyders. Those ones were a little bit closer to $3,000. I think, if I remember correctly, this one's about 3,200 pounds, give or take. A little bit heavier with the PDK. So it is a bit silly in my eyes that they do have these pull door handles, although they add to the aesthetic, and it's not like it makes it more difficult to get in and out. You simply put your fingers in there and pull. Let's turn the exhaust into loud mode, PDK Sport. too low. And that makes sense because the Spyder has a 200 RPM higher red line. That's where it gets its little power bump compared to the GTS 4-liter. They have the same torque. This one revs out an extra 200 RPM, gives it just that much more peak horsepower. And I will say the red line feels more natural for this car. The other one, I felt like I was hitting the red line a little too soon, just based on the sound of the car. But you'll notice when we pull off the highway here in about half a mile that this one revs out just enough to you hear it and you go, ah, yes, that sounds perfect. I actually don't think I've found a single flaw with this car at this point. The ride is great, the sound is great, the steering is great, the suspension is great, powertrain, everything. It's essentially flawless. Alright, I'm going to shut up for a little bit, let the car do the talking. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Absolutely excellent. And there we have it. What an absolute brilliant driver's car. Porsche still knows how to make them better than anyone else in the industry. Everything between the looks, the wheels, the driving dynamic, the color, this car really is top notch. And at $107,000, yes, it's expensive. Yes, you can get a lot more power for this price, but find me a more well-balanced, well-suited driver's car anywhere for right around $100,000. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm sure Chris will be back with you here soon with something exciting. And hopefully he gets a chance to drive a Boxer Spyder here sometime soon too, because I think his sentiments would echo mine. Well, thanks for watching, everybody.